dumbest NBA narratives that need to die. Stop falling for these false narratives. Propaganda in the NBA is making the ratings go down, and it's killing basketball. If you stand with anything in this video, you're the reason why we see children and cancer commercials while watching Judge Judy. Number 10, I got Steph Curry changed the game narrative. Now, I have this at the bottom of the list for a reason. Because yes, Steph, he has changed the game, but not how people think. Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr, they just let their offense run completely through Steph's shooting, which is something the NBA didn't have an answer for. And because of that, the Warriors became the biggest team in basketball since the Bulls in the 90s. The whole NBA was on some if you can't beat them, join them type shit. So everyone started shooting more threes to compete with that. I don't think the change in basketball in the last 10 years should be labeled as Curry's doing, bro. If we're being honest, it's really James Harden. James Harden is the reason why you can't be a starting point guard in an NBA that just facilitates and can't really score like that. You got to be able to do both. Curry, he wasn't breaking his man down while shooting threes. He was coming off screens, transition pull-ups, and catch and shoots. James Harden, he was tween, step back three, and was scoring 25 a game at the time doing that, and even 30 as the years went by. So as a kid back then, you'll see Steph as the face of the NBA. You see him shooting from half court. You see the Warriors going 73-9. You're like, damn, I want to play like Steph Curry. But no kid practiced running off screens and shooting during that time. They practiced being able to break their man down and stepping back for three. Granted, this is something James Harden and Steph did, but who patented that style for real? James Harden, he did an event, the Euro. Ginobili and D-Wade, they were doing that before him, but he's the reason why it became a move literally everyone does in the NBA. James Harden is the reason why we have a gather step in basketball. Before James Harden, a gather step would be referred to something called a fucking travel. I'm spitting right now, bro. This isn't something people think about. I think James Harden influenced the game of basketball in terms of how people develop their individual skill. He did that more than Steph Curry. People will think they're mainly influenced by Steph because once again, he became the face of the NBA, winning with the Warriors, but the whole time they're not realizing, damn, it's actually James Harden why me and everyone else plays basketball like this. James Harden, he influenced foul baiting on the drive and on the three-point line. He influenced double step backs, because technically it's not a travel. A double step back is something every scorer has in their bag these days, and it all stems from James Harden. So James Harden is a legend, bro. It's just the Rockets never made the finals, which is why people forget, which is stupid, and it's why I hate NBA fans. And I'm not just saying this because I'm from Texas either. It's literally something I always realize. Harden deserves his flowers. Number 10, I got Steph Curry changed the game narrative. Really, it was James Harden. Number 9, I got longevity makes LeBron the GOAT narrative. If you're a LeBron fan coming across this, you probably think I'm a hater or some shit like that. I'm just not with the mindset that I should have another man's nutsack in my mouth like a pacifier. With that being said, whether you like or hate LeBron, everyone should be grateful for what he's done for basketball. He's been in the NBA my entire goddamn lifespan. So, as his career is getting closer to an end, I for sure learned to appreciate. I for sure learned to appreciate what he's done for the game, bro. Now, with that also being said, I'm tired of LeBron breaking a certain record these past years, and people look at it and try to use it as a point to prove why he's the GOAT. Bro, he has unprecedented longevity. Okay, that's why. That alone doesn't make him a better basketball player than the names that may be in the GOAT conversation with him. LeBron fans think, oh, if the Lakers win another ring before he retires, then he's officially better than Jordan, since Jordan didn't win anything at 40. Stupid bitch. When they don't even realize they're trying to compare what a player did in 12 seasons to what a player has done in 22 and counting. If we're doing a test or an exam and I finish it in an hour and get a 100, you finish it in 2 hours, you also got a 100. It's obvious what I did was more impressive. Once a player gets past their prime in basketball, then what they do in their final season shouldn't hold weight for where they rank all time. You don't think of a Hall of Fame player and immediately think how they played on their way out. You think about how they were in their prime. This LeBron longevity that they try to use to put him over Jordan, it needs to stop now. It's a weak ass argument and it needs to fucking die. Number 9, I got longevity makes LeBron the GOAT. Number 8, I got scoring doesn't matter if you're on a bad team narrative. If you believe this take, it's extremely important that you just shut the fuck up about anything ever in life that anybody could talk about. Devin Booker, before he played with Chris Paul, was called a player that puts up quote-unquote empty stats. I need to ask the question, how can you average 26 points per game in 2020 and people think you're overrated? Then the next season, you're the same talent level, but everyone says you're the best shooting guard in the league now because your team got better and made the finals in 2021. Huh? I can't stand this narrative, bro. It's just a lazy way to talk about basketball, and you're exposing yourself if you share this belief. You can't watch basketball having this take. You're just trying to fit in by being able to talk about sports with others. Shea started dropping 30 while OKC wasn't a good team still, and he got first team All-NBA. Then you got Bradley Beal when he's averaging the same numbers. The narrative was he scored quote-unquote an inefficient 30 points per game. 30 points is 30 extra points your team has because of you. Why do NBA fans pick and choose? Like, is it because SGA just looks better playing basketball? Like, I don't get the logic. And that's because it's illogical. Number 8, I got scoring doesn't matter if you're on a bad team narrative. Number 7, I got 2018 is LeBron's prime narrative. Alright, this couldn't be further from the fucking truth. People only say this because he was hitting a lot of game winners in that year's playoffs, and he made the finals in an objectively weak Eastern Conference. 2009, LeBron is better than 2018 LeBron. 2013 LeBron is 2018 LeBron on steroids and math. LeBron's career averages are 27, 7, and 7. Luka Doncic dropped 73 and wears 77. 7 times out of 11 you'll make it to heaven. So 2018 LeBron being his prime is fucking wrong, bro. If LeBron is a lot of people's GOATs, then how's the peak year of the GOAT not a version of himself where he's not elite on defense night in, night out? If anything, LeBron wasn't even the best player in 2018. It was Kevin Durant. Harden, a close second. Then it was LeBron. He was playing like he was in 2018 for 10 years up until that point, as a matter of fact. What he did in 2018, he's been doing that for 10 years already. The only reason people say it's his prime is because this is also the year after Kyrie left the Cavs. So it's his first time since 2010 he wasn't playing alongside another top player in the league. So it paints this narrative before the season even starts that if the Cavs do good, then LeBron is Jesus Christ with a bad hairline. Of course, they were going to do good. They're in a weak conference, and they still have LeBron fucking James. And they had Kevin Love. LeBron didn't peak at 33 years old. This narrative still goes on in 2025, bro. It needs to die. Number 7, I got 2018's LeBron's prime. Number 6, I got rings are all that matters narrative. If you believe this narrative, fuck you. You got people that say, Jordan's the GOAT. He won 6 rings. And then you got the arguably even worse response. Robert Horry won 7, so actually, no, he's the GOAT. Shut the fuck up. NBA fans are the worst people to ever exist. They're worse than Nazis. A ring is a fucking team accomplishment. Team! Meaning players, coaches, the GM, the goddamn training staff. Talking like one player gets rings by themselves, bro. You know what? YouTube doesn't like when I say that word, so I'm not gonna say it. It's very retarded. Number 5, I got Kobe is an inefficient scorer narrative. Nah, the talk about Kobe, go Brian being inefficient, it needs to fucking stop. Kobe never shot over 50% of his career. That's not a valid argument. He's not a big man. All his points aren't coming from the paint. Why would you expect a shot creator on a perimeter to have the same field goal percentage as a center doing layups and dunks? Is that how you think basketball works? Bitch! You think the best defenders in Kobe's era were in front of him saying to themselves, I don't need to guard him for real. He's not going to make that shot. If you shoot 20 shots like the best players do for every team, then the difference between 45%, which was what Kobe shot for his career, 45% and 50%, it's one fucking shot. Just one layup. So, but according to these people that say Kobe's inefficient, just one layup is the difference between being efficient and inefficient. This is why these people should be sent to North Korea if they talk about basketball. All they see is stats and numbers and speak on it without context. They don't even watch people play. Yes, Kobe took tough shots, but tough shots can't be guarded. There's no scheme, there's no defense for it. Kobe's only negative on the court was that he would gamble too much on defense. Besides that, he's coming on rain, bro. People talk about him not passing the ball. Let's put this in perspective. If your ass could score 80 in a game and you were the best player in the world, how would you feel if you had people trying to tell you, oh yeah, you can outscore the team by yourself? But pass the ball to Kwame Brown more. You're shooting the ball too much. Number 5, I got Kobe as an inefficient scoring narrative. Number 4, I got Nikola Jokic is not a top 5 center narrative. First off, who are the top 5 centers? I know everyone's list is different, but here's what most people would have: Shaq, Kareem, Hakeem, Bill Russell, and Wilt. Maybe David Robinson. Jokic, he's better than all of them, bro. This is coming from someone that has Hakeem in his top 5 best players. Jokic is one of a kind. And every time the season ends, he comes back the next season even better than he was before. Jokic is an example on how good a human can really get at something. He's a prime example on how good a human can get in their craft, bro. In all walks of life, Joker is an example. This man has the greatest touch in the paint basketball has ever seen, behind Diddy, while being a big body. Like, ever, bro. Since the NBA was founded, he has the best touch. He's shooting 45% from 3 right now, while being arguably the best passer to ever exist. He's averaging a 30-point triple-double right now. As of February 23rd, 2025, he's averaging a 30-point triple-double. Bro, he's passed up all these names that people have ahead of him. Mar, he needs to get more rings. See, he needs more playoff success. Bro, do you seriously need Jokic to be a part of a team accomplishment to determine his talent individually? Like, God, bro, why do you people watch basketball, bro? This shit, that's just extremely disingenuous. Number 4, I got Jokic is not a top 5 center narrative. Number 3, I got Kobe got carried by Shaq. Now, people say this because they look at finals MVPs instead of watching the damn game. Steph had 3 rings before he got his finals MVP. But was he carried? The only year you could remotely argue this for is their first ring in 2000, when Kobe was 21 years old. Which, still the more accurate words to say, yeah, Shaq was better than Kobe, not that Kobe got carried. After 2000, Kobe was dropping 30 with Shaq and outperforming him in multiple series leading up to the finals in the 3-peat. Kobe got carried. What the hell is wrong with you? Huh? This is such a bad argument. It's fucking prime Shaquille O'Neal. Any player in NBA history is going to be a second option if they're on a team with prime Shaq. That's including Michael Jordan. That's including LeBron. It's optimal to play through Shaq. That's a free 2 points. Not only did Kobe not get carried, but he was also better than Shaq by 2003. By 2003, Kobe was the best player in the NBA. Only arguments Garnett and McGrady and Duncan. Which, come on, he's better than all of them. This is an extremely low IQ narrative, and it needs to fucking die. Once again, I'll say it again, any player in basketball history will be a second option if they're playing alongside prime Shaquille O'Neal. Is this 3? Number 3, I got Kobe got carried by Shaq narrative. Ooh, number 2, I got the 90s had no skill narrative. I feel like people say this because there wasn't as much tween behind the backs and they didn't shoot threes. What people fail to realize is the rules were different back then, though. Like, these days, nobody's going to call carries and travels, but everyone in the NBA carries now. Literally everybody. So, it's not a rule that's going to be enforced. Unless the carry is just extremely blatant. And plus, it makes the game more entertaining. Like, players can do more dribble moves and all that. It looks more fluid, which entertainment, that's the end goal of the NBA. It's the entertainment. But with the rules back then, you wouldn't be able to play like Kyrie or Luka. It's a turnover if you size up. It's a damn turnover bringing the ball up. The ball had to come completely up and down, pause, with no other motion. That's why everything was so one dribble pull up and posting up back then. Now, has the skill increased since 30 years ago? Yes, of course, bro. There wasn't any Dame Lillards in the 90s. There wasn't any Steph Currys in the 90s. No Kevin Durant's, no Paul Georges. But there was definitely still skill back then. And it's just that the players were handicapped in comparison to today. So number 2, I got the 90s had no skill narrative. Like, people got to stop saying that, bro. That's my version of a drum roll. Number 1, I got what you probably clicked on the video for. Number 1, I got Steph Curry is the best shooter ever narrative. Now, hold up, bitch! I know this sounds crazy, but I'm the type to think deeply about everything. That's why every time I say something that sounds like a crazy take on here, and I explain my thinking, that I open up everyone's eyes. I give people perspectives that they never thought of. Now, if you think Steph is the best shooter ever, you have to factor in why you would come to that conclusion. Steph, he's one of the most famous athletes in history. So automatically, when you think of the best shooter, you think of him. Just because his fame, right? It's like if someone thinks Michael Jackson's the best singer of all time. Yes, he sings phenomenally. But there's somebody somewhere out there that isn't as recognized that's even phenomenaler. You know, Mar Woods, it's an educational channel. And I would never deceive anybody that takes the time to watch me. Because you don't have to. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful for it. Hell yeah. We shouldn't say Steph Curry is the best shooter when the guy that I'm talking about, he just flat out proved that he's a better shooter. What makes it worse, he's not even in the league right now. The person I'm talking about that's a better shooter than Steph, it's Lethal Shooter.